Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza Creates. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm going to use this book today. I bought this a while back. I would have showed it in a charity shop haul. I paid £1.99 for it, and it's got some beautiful images in. I mean, when I saw it on the shelf, I saw flowers of the countryside. I'm always drawn to these sort of books and think, oh, will they be pretty? The front cover was looking promising. It's got that beautiful, so if I ever did a bigger journal, this would make a nice cover with that beautiful edge. And so I just had a little flick through, and yeah, sure enough, very pretty images, and some nice white space actually, which would work for the back of the tag. Not too shiny, and of course you can tea dye or dye with inks, coffee dye, whatever. I loved that. I thought that's Ephemera straight away. Look at that beautiful page there. I think there's only one of them like that, but you know, that's a tag, that's a side pocket, that's a pocket. So I thought, I pulled it out to add to a journal I'm making at the moment, and I thought, well, why don't I just turn on the camera and let's get started. So I'm going to start with just gutting. I'm just going to plough straight in and gut the book. I find it easier. I plan to cut this book up in its entirety, so let's just take it off. I'm going to be careful with this. I've already stabbed myself, so I don't know if you can see. I've got a little, I literally stabbed myself as I was cutting down a box to scooch away all the journaling, all that, you know, the journal that I'm currently working on, and I thought, you're doing this towards yourself, Jez, be careful. I went, don't be silly, I'm a grown-up, I'm not gonna stab myself. Oh, I've stabbed myself, and it proper hurts. It does proper hurt, because I was going down, and so I hit myself with some quite force. So what an idiot. But hey ho. I just stopped the bleeding by adding pressure for a couple of minutes, and it seems to have worked. So I am a nurse. I mean, I'm not a general nurse, I'm a psychiatric nurse, so I gave myself a bit of counselling about it, and I'm all right. I'm all right. So I say it's not bleeding. So that's the cover off. So I say very, very pretty cover there, and that would be lovely, maybe on the front of a flippy floppy folio with different sized covers. So that's going in my cover store. So now let's put this away before major damage happens with it. So here we are. We have got, now there are signatures. Let me get my glasses on. There are signatures, so I might just split it up along the signatures, because that will make it a little bit, I'll bring the knife out again. That will just make it all so much easier to deal with. Normally I go and find the strings and cut them up, but I've recently done a book. I was babysitting last week, and I recently just did a book this way, and it was a lot quicker and a lot easier. And I can see where I stabbed myself. Oh, and we've got that interesting, I like this. That makes it, that would be sort of interesting, stuck on something, maybe the top of a tag or something. Little bit of cloth like that. I'll put that up there. That's quite nice and textural. Pulling this off makes it a little bit easier to get the signatures out, because you can see all the signatures there. There's probably a really easy way of pulling off this heavy glued stuff. that somebody might be able to tell me about. Probably soak it in something. There we go. We'll plough on. So I like it when I can just pull it apart. Right, that's your glued in sheet that you get after every signature. And these are the threads. There we go. So yeah, so if you're new to junk journaling and the idea of cutting up a book scares you, makes you think, oh, there's something very wrong about this, just do it. Follow my lead. I'm giving you permission. Cut it up. You're never going to read it, but you're going to reveal beautiful images like that you're going to be able to use. So I'm just going to carry on and do this and be quiet for a bit and speed it up. So there it is, all broken up. So first thing I'm going to do is deal with what's happened here. I've ripped a bit, but we don't mind ripping. I've put a plaster on there. So I'm going to mend that because that's going to get backed on something. But before I do that, I want to make a feature of the rip because that will be interesting. So just give that a bit of an ink there. So I've got a line. I'm going to mend that back there. I'm going to use a bit of, I could use washi. I've got micropore surgical tape, very strong. I mean, it's going to get backed onto something, so it doesn't really matter. But just a little bit more now, Jez. Back. There we go. Put that across there. It kind of disappears. So it is quite a good thing to add because it does disappear. Let's see if we can be clever and get that little bit of torn edge off to put back. Might not. Might need to. I just cut micropore. You can stick it back. No, you can't, Jez. It'll be fine because we'll cut down that bit. So ruler rip it. So we'll take that bit there. So that'll be nice. Now this could be a pocket or it could be on top of a tag. as I don't know yet what I want to do, I'm going to leave an edge there for folding over if I'm going to end up doing it as a pocket. Because these so there we go, it folds, bends there, so it might not end up being a pocket, it might be the top of the tag. I think that's probably the best way to use that, on top of the tag. But there we go. Anything else on this I can use? No. So I'm going to bin it. So this is another way of, for me, it's cutting down. I've got so many books, they take up so much room, and I forget I've got them. And if you've seen my charity shop hauls, you'll know I've got a huge collection. So I thought, let's get them used. And one way of using them is to actually cut them up. And I discovered that the weekend, well, last week. I bought 2 enormous books full of pictures of Yorkshire. And I just went through and I just harvested everything that I wanted from the book. And job's a good one. Right, so I think going to rip from that side so I'm not putting the strain on the tear straight away. I think these will make fabulous little embellishments on their own, like that. I love the fact they got right up. Chew. So there we go, that's done. Here we've got a little black and white, it's got a little kebwob. That could be a pocket. I'm leaving that. So here we've got a signature. So let's go into the centre. Those threads should hopefully be cut now. Yep, so I can just pull the whole thing apart. And this is just so much easier then to work with than a big book. I'm gonna throw half of it away and I'll have much less in my stash. Now let's just, now we've got, this is beautiful, absolutely stunning, and that is lovely. So I can get both. So I am having a little look there. Yeah, I can get both. So I'll go up there. Got that. That's a nice little pocket, that, or a journaling card, or a little bag, or cement. This, I'm gonna give a little space at the bottom that I may well need. Bin that. That's beautiful. Beautiful pocket along the bottom. So we're gonna take the top off, take the bottom off. I'm just gonna quickly show you what I would do with that, because I think this might go in the journal that I'm looking at. So let's check how wide it is. So it's too wide for a pocket. Now you can just fold. So we'll fold up at the bottom using that edge there for our straight edge. You can use a school board, which I may well end up going for. So that would be your bottom, not looking very straight. So I'm getting a school board out. I can't cope if it's not properly straight, really can't. So we'll put the straight edge up there, and with the straight edge up there, we can score down. So now we can get it so it will be straight. Do it that way because that edge isn't straight, but this top edge will be. So I'll go along the top there. So that's a nice pocket front. Careful not to push too hard. I used the wrong side of that. So then we want it to, so my journal pages, we're gonna sort of aim for about 5.5. So we're gonna take that side off. So if we take that off there, oh, Jez, told you that's the wrong side. You never listen. So there we go. We go down there about 5.5. Perfect. That'd be a nice long pocket at the bottom of a page. And that should fit the full width of a page. So gonna fold it all out, give it a bit of a burnish. Doesn't really matter that it's gone through on those places because they're just really folded for reinforcement. So it'll be fine. Absolutely fine. Right, there we go. Right, I'm going to take a bit of this side bit off. It's a bit too thick. Take that rough edge off because that will add bulk. I might not do it with the ruler. Might just come in with my big scissors. Take that side bit off. So it's a gusseted pocket, which means you can put more in it. So we'll just cut slits like so. So that bit will be stuck down, and then these side bits are what are going to get stuck to the page to form our pocket. So that will get stuck. You always put the bottom flap over the sides so there's nothing to catch when you put something in. It's my little tip for you. So this is the top bit. That's going to get stuck down. Bring in a glue book. Bit of glue stick, and then I like to go around the edges with a stronger glue just to make sure it is stuck down. And then we give it a good press. And the paper's, you know, nice and thick. So oh, I just remembered I had a cup of coffee. It's stone cold now. Oh well. I don't drink cold coffee. I know lots of people, like mums say, well, mum, you know, when I was growing up, I used to go to my mum, oh, that tea's cold, mum. She went, yeah, you get used to drinking cold when you're a mum because you're so busy. You neglect it. If I didn't drink cold tea, I wouldn't have any drink. Yeah, no, that's not happening to me. So as that, I want to just come in a little bit, take some of that white away. And then, so I like to, just to remind myself, just put a little bit of glue on the bottom there. On the bottom there. And along the top edge there. Just to glue that in place. And then that's ready to go on a journal page. So I'm making a journal, as I said. So So that would make a great pocket on there, ready for a tag that might even be, oh, something there, stuck something else on there. So ready for a tag on there. So perfect size that I've made that for there. It could be the inside of a book, it could go anywhere in the journal. That would brighten up that page really nicely actually. I might well leave it in there because that's a cool idea. So that's that. So what else have we got? That's pretty. So I'm just gonna take that off. Now I've got a page there with writing on. It is not particularly anything interesting, but there is a nice big bit of white there, so I might keep that big bit of white for something that I don't need any of the rest of it. Probably don't need these bits, to be honest, but sometimes they're good for stamping on words and things. So got a page there. That could be a substrate for a tag. I could choose to keep that. Could keep it as a glue book. Those are, you know, sort of options that you can do, or you can chuck it all away. So got a choice now. I've got to make a straight choice. I'm going for that one. It's pretty. It's also similar to the flower, one of the flowers in the journal that I'm making. So that would now become a pocket, exactly the same as the pocket that I have just made. I'm binning those things. I might keep that a little bit. So it is a way of making sure that I'm not getting too overwhelmed with stuff. I'm going to keep a pile of these just to make myself decide what I want to do. Unfortunately here we've got a straight swap, or a straight decision. However, what you could do, because it's pretty, is fold over there, and that would be a nice page in a journal. And then you've got this, which you could then attach to, sort of turn it into some franking paper. It is too tall, so you'd have to cut it down. So I cut it down to about 8 1/8, because our paper is 8 1/4 tall, but it shrinks a tad in when you coffee dye it. Right, I don't want to cut the top of that flower off, and this one goes taller up the page, so take that off so we know that that is as much as I can take off that end, but it doesn't matter about the other end. So we'll put this at 8 1/8, unfold it, put this at 8 1/8, and we'll cut that off. And that, a nice page in the journal, but I can add to this side, chuck something to extend the page. So I could either put some coffee paper on it or some other paper on it. I have got, let me just get my box here. So I've got a box here which has got my journal in of things that I have cut up, and I did all the journaling pages I did cut them down halfway. So use that on the other side. Thinking on my feet here. Right, we need the end off that. I'm going to get my chomper for that because it's quite a small sliver. My trimmer will take small slivers, but occasionally it rips. If I've been cutting up vintage paper, which I have, an antique paper, it gets clogged up in it, and it's more likely to rip if you do that. So this is one of the larger journal pages that I just cut down. So I could stick that on there, and that would be a page like that in the journal, which would be quite interesting. Give it a little different point of reference. So not that I actually need any more pages in here because it's quite full, but you could have that. So that's really pretty in there. I like it, and I love the way it looks with that. It's going to be a keeper, isn't it? Then I've got my centre page, and then I've got that, and that could be stuck there. Bit of journaling. I mean, I could choose to put something bigger. I'm going to leave that there for now. I might choose to have a bigger sheet there, but that is where I was going with that. Like it. I like it a lot. So that's that. So there we've got another really vibrant, beautiful pocket there. Now maybe I'll show you how I could turn it into a side pocket. So pretty much the same as what we would do with the bottom pocket, but let's make this a side pocket. So we're going to fold down there, we'll cut this bulk off. That's the edge of the pocket. Let's do, yeah, shall we go 3 inches? Quite a deep side pocket. Could even be a belly band. Actually, could be a belly band, Jez. Right, so we need the edge. So we want it to be 8 1/8, don't we? So we might come up here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 1/8. So we don't have to come up quite that far. So let's do this side first. So we'll fold over here. Yep, perfect. For top fold. So then with that there, we'll go to 8 1/8 there. That is the length of a page. There we go. So this will be a fun afternoon binging something on Netflix. I discovered this week that Firefly Lane, somebody was saying, oh, new series. I went on, I was like, no, series 2, I've watched that. No, it's more episodes in series 2. It was like, how did I miss that? How on earth did I miss that? So I have been guilty of binging that a bit whilst I've been making this journal. Love it. Has made me a bit upset at times because I don't want to do any spoilers if anybody hasn't watched it, but one of the main characters is going through something that I went through, and it is bringing back some memories of how I felt. There we go. So it's a bit of me that thinks I might turn this into a belly band, but it would be exactly the same as the other pocket. Whatever you were doing, however you were going to use it, you would cut the corners like so, and then these bits could be stuck down as your pocket, and obviously that's your top. It'd be side pocket, or it could be the other way as a side pocket, or you'd tuck them all in, sew it up, and that would be a belly band. I have got those edgy bits, so they might get caught, so I might not use these edge bits. If it was a belly band, I would just use it as it is, and then that would look, grabbing this, if we choose a page there, that could be a belly band on that page there, or it could be a side pocket for putting things in. So that is how I would use that. I'm probably just going to stick that in there. So that's that. We've now got us, oh, that's lovely. That could be a journaling card. Because of the size of it, I think I'd be inclined to just have that as it is. Or it could be a bottom tuck, but that, lovely as it is, could be a nice journaling card. You could, in fact, because it's got white bits on, fold that up. No need to back. Or turn it into a bag because it's white on the back, floating pocket, glue it down, journaling card. That, don't need anything else. That one's done, just a bit of glue in. Trying to find, there it is, bone folder. That would work as it is. You could even turn it into a little pocket there. That way? No, that way. Yeah, let's do it. Jess, let's do it. Right, I want the bottom of that cut a little bit neater, because I don't think for one moment that is straight. There we are. Do I want to cut it down the top a little tad? Yeah. There we go. So then what we'll do is so we've got a little hidden pocket. What I might do is do a little notch. I might go with a 1 inch. I don't want to go very far. Just there. Just to show it is a pocket. And I don't have to put anything in it. This could be for whoever buys the journal to tuck something in. I am quite loving that. Could do a bit of stamping on the back, which I think I will, before it's closed up. Let's get something stamped on there. Go for that one, because I think that's similar flower there to that, and it fits perfectly. It was like it was meant to be. I was meant to put that on there. I'm going softy sweetie. Yeah, I love it. What could I do down there? Bit of script maybe? I'll bring in scrap there because I'll probably go over. Oh yeah, love it, love it. And I might just put a bit on the front there. Yeah, let's glue this side down. Worried about this not being quite dry because it's not 100% an absorbent piece of paper. And then do the sides, and I could stitch around this afterwards if I wanted to. So there we have a lovely little piece of ephemera straight away made to be used. So loving how that turned out, and that's a whole signature done. So I've reduced the book to a few bits of scraps, so a couple of bits of scraps, but that is all going to be ephemera. I've got 2 pockets already in situ where I want them, so I went from all of that to a tiny little bit. And what fun, what fun. That hasn't taken very long at all. In real time I've been at this 49 minutes, but I have speeded up bits, so it's not that much in the actual video that you'll be watching. Right, so here, that's pretty. I am thinking I want to go this side, so where is the line? Just below there. Held that up to the light a bit so I could see a little bit on to the side. I might cut a little bit more, but I'm going to straighten this edge. So that's pretty, that's pretty. That could get folded in half. And I do make smaller journals. That could be a page in a journal, and I would add little pockets at the bottom there. Probably not in white paper, but you know, to cover that bit up. That is what I do with that, and that I'm going to bin. Keeping my chomper here. Oh, we've got a full page there, and a bit of that there. So what I'll do, cut that edge off, cut it down. That screams Christmas to me, that page there. So we want to cut down to 8 1/8. I'm going to cut off all those bits at the bottom. So I want to create a page with that. I'll do that in a sec. Do I want this bit? I could use that for collage or something. What have we got this side? We've got another one of those that could be a full page. So let's just take a tad off the top. 8 1/8, neaten that up. I think I might chuck that bit. So I'm just holding it up to the light. Yeah. So do it on this side. So by going down here, that works nicely. I've got another journal page where that's pretty, and then we can stick something on this, or it could just be a page flap and that something could get stuck on the top there. And we're going to do the same with this. So that's fold down there. page there. So that page in the journal has got that on one side, that on the other, and then on the other side we've got that pretty. So we could stick something on this to extend it. So we could stick a piece of tea dye paper or whatever to extend that. That could even be a pocket. Come on, cook it on gas, Jess, get it done. Some tea dyed paper here, which needs cutting down because we only want a bit of it. So that is like so. That could become a pocket. We've got plain bit on the back. That's the page on the other side of the journal. Brilliant. So a little bit of ink in along there. So, and what's good about this is like the ideas are flowing as you're cutting it up, and you're ending up with lots and lots of ephemera and pages ready to slot into a journal, which is always handy to have on hand. So it's not all about finding old vintage books. I know when I do my charity shop hauls, people say, God, they're amazing old books, beautiful. But actually, these ones are lovely as well. And it's just about sort of seeing the potential in them. There we go. So I'm going to put glue along the edge here and the edge here. I'm going to come in a little bit so there is slightly extra, so the pocket's slightly smaller, but it's glued down a bit more to give it a little bit of extra strength. You could glue it in its entirety if you wanted to. So rather than create a pocket, you've just created some extra space. So we've got a nice big pocket there. So I could have glued it all down. So now I've got a journaling page. So it looks like that. Could cover that up with something if you wanted to. I could add another little pocket coming down there if I had some nice sort of matching flowers. I mean, I've got a little bit there that could come down. Or you could cover it with some washi tape to make it look pretty, or you could leave it. But yeah, so that's that. So what have we got here? We've got massive white there. So that is brilliant for backing tags or journaling cards. You could even just use that as it is in a journal as a page, and you could put a little side pocket on there. You could even use something from here to create the side pocket. So yep, and here, can we use both? No. So here we've got to make a choice because this comes down to there, and you lose the top of that. Love the daisy. Yeah, I love the daisy, so I'm going for that. Or I could just take it off there and then leave it in my stash ready to be used. And I might have a project where I need a pond, but actually I think I'm more likely to use that. That's stunningly lovely, isn't it? So then getting through this, I'm just looking to see if there's anything sort of different that we might use. I'm just gonna cut that down So it's about, I sometimes find I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I forget what I've got. So I just wanted to, that's lovely, get them all ready so that, oh, there's a bit of white, keep that bit. It's very mountainous. There we go. So that I'm not keeping too much unnecessarily. I'll keep the odd bit of white. But, you know, I'm going to reduce that book down to something more manageable in my room. It's a book off the shelf. It's a book being used. My son did suggest I stopped buying things every week from charity shops. I'm like, you having a laugh? But, you know, he's right. I keep getting these things and I'm not using them. So this is forcing me to use what I've got. That's another one where I could use it as a page in a journal and just sort of add pockets to that. And we'll just get rid. And that's another signature done. So, oh, we've got that beautiful page there. So, she's lovely. And I've managed to rip her a little bit. I've done Jez. She's probably too big to be used anyway on her own. But how stunning is that? That could be on the inside cover of a book, because they're usually a little bit bigger. So leave her as she is. There is, oh, I quite like that drawing. If I was doing an Edith Holden book, oh, that would be, imagining that's Edith's kit. What a lovely piece to use. I mean, this woman's obviously an artist as well, so it's obviously what she takes out with her. But that, nice little bit of ephemera. Cool, like that. I don't want any of that, don't want any of that. Love, I love that. I love the fact that we've got partial sketches and one there. Yeah, so I like that. That would make a nice journaling card. And I'm going to have a lovely pile here now that I can sit whilst watching telly and back them and things. That's quite cute. Could use that. Could use it in collage, so we're keeping that. And that's lovely. We need to neaten that edge a bit. How lovely are these? That could be a pocket that way, and then that could be a little tag. I'd lose what's on the other side. I don't mind. I'm going to keep that as it is, so I can just side later. Nothing on the back there. That's stunning. Absolutely stunning. That could be a page. Could be 2 belly bands. Yeah. And that's another signature done. So yeah, I think you get the idea. I mean, this sort of harvesting is something that you can easily do, I say, whilst binge watching something in front of the telly. Now that, right, so my idea for this is cut this down to be the right size for a book page. Actually, it's going to be too wide, isn't it? So when that's cut down, you're going to lose quite a bit off the side. But we can fold. That's another option. Options, Jez, options. So we'll take a bit off the top. Take a bit off the bottom. I'm going to go down at 5 3/4. There we go. What do we have here? We've got something pretty there. So that's pretty. So that can fold over that way. And we've got a pocket. Could have a flip out and I could put something on there. On this side, right, we'll have a flip because that's pretty. That's all pretty. Yeah, so we want to cover these bits to have journaling. So where's the other half of that tea-dyed paper? There we go. So want a bit of tea-dyed paper on there. Just a little strip down. Might have a bit in my scraps actually, Jez. I did put a load of strips in here from a project recently. Or did I? Did I actually not do that? Did I keep them somewhere else? Oh, there's a strip. There's a strip. That would work. Down there, got a bit of journaling. Yeah. Want a bit up there. I've got something that could go up there. That could go on there for journaling. Yeah. So what have we got on the back here? I'm going to make that a pocket. So I could do a strip down there that would probably be cut off. And then we need a strip there. Perfect. Yeah, that can go down there. Just as it is. Ready-made piece of journaling on there. So just giving you ideas of what to do with your book. And if you've made things ready to go, just pull them out. And if they're things for future use and aren't quite ready, they can go in another pile. You can put them in a little Polly Pocket or something, plastic wallet, labelled so you know what you've got. I haven't ink round this. Don't have to ink round it. There we go. Oh, picked up two. Liking that there. What have we got here? That bit there. I'll just rip it down there. That's grand. Might rip off a bit the other side. And each of these bits of paper have come from a scrap bin, so they're from different, they're all different paper. So that's another thing that's, you know, quite nice about it. And there, going to put a little strip down there, I think. So go straight on there. Rip this edge off. And I might rip a bit down. Oh, I've just had text. Comes up on my iPad because I mirror on my iPad. It's just Ed, he's at work today. And I mean, he works every day, but he's like he's gone to uni. And yeah, see? Oh, love it. We went to see, me and my boys. Ed didn't come, he passed. We went to see the Barbie movie. So I can't believe that my 31-year-old and my 25-year-old boys wanted to go and see the Barbie movie. But they did. They went, oh, it looks fun. So I said, I want to go and see it as well. And Ed's like, I'm not. And so the three of us went to cinema last night, watched the Barbie movie. I can't remember the last time I went to cinema. I'm not sure if I've been to cinema since the pandemic. And I certainly can't remember the last time I went to cinema with both my boys. And probably a Harry Potter or a Star Wars. And one of them's got, he goes to Cineworld because he has he's bought himself one of them passes where you get unlimited views. So we had to go there. I got Meerkat movies, so I got 2 for 1. So, and it was a bit, it's a bit more expensive, but then, you know, other cinemas. But we got there. The seats are lovely. They recline. They're fully padded. There's enough room that, I mean, I was sat in between my 2 boys, room for elbows. It was amazing. I loved it. I said, oh, perhaps it is worth paying the little extra. And as James pointed out to me, he was like, Mum, we spent £8.50 between us. I was like, yeah, you're right. It's not expensive. And so I'm going to ink these bits. And yeah, we loved the movie. Oh, I laughed all the way through it. Now the boys, they're like on TikTok and stuff like that, and different social media to me. So a lot of the jokes have already been spoilt for them because they've been all over sort of social media and that. And whereas I haven't seen any of them, so I was laughing at times, and I was the only one laughing in the cinema because for me it's the first time I've seen that joke. And yeah, I proper giggled my way through it. Loved it. So I didn't ink these edges because I knew I was going to do this, and so the edges would get inked that way. Where's them stamps gone? I'm going to do some stamping. There we go. So this needs sticking down. So there we have it. Pocket, journaling bit, pretty page, little flip, bit of journaling, very pretty. And let's just have a little look at how that would look in a journal. Let's put it in there. Oh no, because that's got that wee bit. Let's put it there. So if that was in there, and there we go. That's really pretty. Spaced journal, open that way. I'm thinking I might leave this page in this journal because I like it. And then you've got page there, and then fold it over, got pocket there. Love it. So yeah, I think we'll call it a day there. And yeah, I hope that's given you loads of ideas for future projects. And I've already put some in here ready to go. So did I have any other ideas? Oh yeah, there's another page there. And then yeah, going to extend that. I like that actually because I've got some vintage ledger paper there, and that's ledger paper, so I like that idea. Might move the bag somewhere else, might move the bag to that side, so that would work. Yeah, loving it. So hope that was useful. Please give me a like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing, and I'll be back with you very, very soon. Bye for now.